When Clara moved into the quiet suburban neighborhood of Willow Creek, she was looking for a fresh start. The tree-lined streets and friendly faces seemed like the perfect antidote to the chaos of city life. Her next-door neighbor, Maggie, was the first to welcome her with a warm smile and a plate of homemade cookies. The two quickly became friends, sharing coffee on Maggie's porch and chatting about everything from gardening to their favorite books. But one morning Clara noticed something unusual. Maggie's curtains were drawn, her car was gone, and her usually immaculate lawn was littered with newspapers. Concerned, Clara knocked on the door, but there was no answer. She called Maggie's phone, but it went straight to voicemail. Something felt wrong. Clara's unease grew as the days passed. She asked other neighbors if they'd seen Maggie, but no one had. The police were dismissive, suggesting Maggie had gone on a trip without telling anyone. But Clara knew better. Maggie wasn't the type to disappear without a word. Determined to find out what had happened, Clara began her own investigation. She combed through Maggie's social media, looking for clues, and noticed a strange comment from an account she didn't recognize. "You should have minded your own business." Digging deeper, she found a series of cryptic messages Maggie had exchanged with someone named Shadow. Clara's search led her to a local diner where Maggie had mentioned meeting a friend. The waitress recognized Maggie's photo and mentioned she'd been meeting with a man who drove a black SUV. Clara's heart raced as she recalled seeing a similar vehicle parked near Maggie's house the night before she disappeared. She took her findings to Detective Harris, a no-nonsense investigator with a reputation for solving tough cases. At first he was skeptical, but Clara's persistence won him over. Together they uncovered a web of secrets involving a local crime ring that had been using the neighborhood as a base for their operations. Maggie, it seemed, had stumbled onto their activities and paid the price. The breakthrough came when Clara found a hidden compartment in Maggie's garden shed. Inside was a notebook filled with dates, license plate numbers, and descriptions of suspicious activity. It was enough evidence for Detective Harris to obtain a warrant. The police raided a warehouse on the outskirts of town, rescuing Maggie and several other victims who had been kidnapped to keep them quiet. Maggie was shaken but unharmed, and she hugged Clara tightly when they were reunited. "I knew you'd find me," she whispered. In the aftermath, the neighborhood came together to ensure their safety. Neighborhood watch programs were strengthened, and residents became more vigilant. Clara and Maggie's friendship deepened, their bond forged in the crucible of danger. They spent countless evenings on Maggie's porch, sharing stories and laughter, grateful for each other's presence. One evening, as the sun set over Willow Creek, Clara turned to Maggie and said, "You know, I moved here for a fresh start. I never expected to find a friend like you." Maggie smiled. Sometimes the best things in life come when you least expect them. And as the two women sat side by side, watching the stars come out, they knew they had found not just safety, but a home.